Greetings, everybody. My name is Larry Williams, and I'm the Director of CARMA, the Consortium for the Advancement of Research Methods and Analysis. It is my pleasure to welcome you to another CARMA Quick Chat. And you may know that CARMA Quick Chat is where I take the opportunity to talk with important people within the research methods community about things that they are doing. Oftentimes, those things involve presentations or workshops for CARMA, and it is my pleasure to be engaged today in this quick chat with Professor Aggie Chidlow. Professor is a full professor in international business at the Birmingham Business School. And the reason we're talking to Aggie is not only because we have a general interest in what she is doing, but because she will be giving a CARMA webcast lecture. And you may know that those webcast lectures are available to our member schools. We have an institutional membership program, and you can find more information on the CARMA website about that. So, and Aggie's talk that she'll be giving in a couple of weeks is entitled Fit of Data in Scientific Inquiry. And Aggie and I have known each other for a few years, and it's great to get the chance to catch up with you. So let me begin by asking the question of, what's the origin of your interest in research methods? You're a substantive person, but you have bridged your interest with methods. Where did that come from?
Oh, thank you, Larry. I would say it developed over time. I was first interested in research methods during my PhD studies, when I tried to figure out what methodology I should use to operationalize the understanding at that time, the inflow of foreign direct investment into Poland, which was the phenomenon of my thesis. It was not an easy task, I have to say, and being bilingual in that space where I had to back translate what I read in my head from Polish to English and vice versa at that time was challenging. Having said that, during my PhD research, I was privileged to spend a period of time at Wayne State University and the Ross School of Business at the University of Michigan in the USA, where, while attending various seminars and meetings were delivered by some fantastic scholars, I had the opportunity to learn about discrete choice modeling that at that time in 2004 and 2005 were entering the international business field as an analytical technique to examine location choices. So being pedantic and curious by nature, I wanted to get a deeper understanding as to how such models work. So I got in touch with William Green, who a few years later kindly agreed to be my mentor and work with me. As a result of that, I spent a period of time in New York University at Stern School of Business, working with him and getting to know him. And looking back, his outstanding econometric or analytical knowledge and skills, the precision that he has, as well as kindness as human being, really hooked me on pursuing credible research methods in my academic work and share that passion with others. I have to say I will forever be thankful to Bill for his time and patience. He's truly eminent scholar, and he definitely had impact on my methodological interest and the work I have done on my own or with some fantastic colleagues over time in relation to research methods in the international business field and beyond.
Okay. It's always interesting to hear the stories. So many people, there was one person that really provided the light And so it's great to hear that part of your story. So you mentioned your international background, and you have come to be active in the IB field. And so for some in our community, they may be less familiar with the types of methods topics that are really at the forefront of what the IB community is interested in. So can you kind of give a quick overview of what you think currently within the IB research methods community, what some of those important topics are?
Of course, I think due to the complexity of the international business phenomenon, which by nature, the phenomenon is multi-level and interdisciplinary, and the increased significance of data credibility for empirical examination, from methodological point of view, I would say the important topics that IB scholars talk about nowadays rather a lot center around the issues of data equivalence, data access and research transparency, and the role of scientific values and accountability of international business scholarship as part of the responsible research agenda, which is promoted by various stakeholders due to the influx of big data and NNI. Also, topics around replicability or reproducibility, as well as best practices for conducting and reporting hypothesis testing research. And here, IB scholars talk a lot about the role of p-value and how scholars should report p-values. What's more, the role of context and theorizing from case studies, as well as the use of templates in qualitative research. And finally, I would say the diverse methodologies or methodological ways of examining the complexity of the IB phenomenon, for example, by the use of experiments or ethnography.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's clear that this literature has, in the research methods within the IB community, has grown, and part of the and as well as that community of scholars within the IB community who have come to share of their experiences and their interest in research methods. And central to that was the special interest group within AIB. And I know that you were involved in that with the beginning, and I know a little bit about it from the time that I engaged with your group. But it's a good example of a parallel development, kind of like the research methods division of the academy, or similarly the special group within the Strategic Management Society. So it's great to see these communities of people with a common interest in research methods kind of come together. So can you just share the story about the emergence of RMSIG and what some of the current initiatives your group has that they're working on?
With pleasure. The research method shared interest group, which we tend to call RMSIG, within the Academy of International Business, was formed in 2016 during the annual meeting in New Orleans in United States to advance the quality, diversity, and understanding of research methods, as well as analytical techniques, in order to promote methodological innovation and pluralism in the international business field. If I remember correctly, many AIB members were involved in making the initiative possible, which, by the way, was the first interest group in the Academy of International Business, And it was called, as you rightly said at the beginning, the Research Methods Special Interest Group. But then it was rebranded as the Research Methods Shared Interest Group. The initial planning meeting was held, however, during the annual conference in Bangalore in India in 2015, which was attended by 50 methods-related enthusiasts, as we call them, and members of the Academy of International Business Board at that time provided a lot of guidance in developing the RMSIG, as did the AIB president, Rosalie Tung, at that time, and you guys, you and Bob, as part of CAMRA. So the founding committee consisted of myself, my dear friend Stuart Miller, Bo Nelson, and Catherine Welch, with the active support of the program chair for 2016 in New Orleans, which was, I think, Charles Dehanai, the AIB managing director Tunga Kiak, and the rest of the AIB secretariat. The four of us designed, organized, and led the RM6's first activities, which consisted of 2 quantitative research methods workshop run, if you remember, by yourself and Bob Vandenberg, representing Karma, and a panel dedicated on multi-level modeling, where Bo was present with Bob. As the initial activities were extremely well received by the AIB community, the following year, in 2017, during the AIB's annual meeting in Dubai, in addition to those workshops that you guys delivered, we also offered Research Methods Clinic. And over the years, we added masterclasses and a social meet and greet session. So by growing by size and scope, the offerings during the annual meetings are now the mainstay of the annual conference activities, and they are very incredibly popular, and they are supported across the wider AIB community. So I would say, apart from the diverse activities that the RMSIG offers as part of the AIB annual meetings, other initiatives include, for example, webinars. And the last one was in October this year about how to write a PhD thesis, don'ts and do's from the methodological perspective. RMSIG runs online workshops offered in collaboration with other AIB chapters. And the recent one that was delivered was in July in collaboration with the AIB Oceania on multi-level theory and modeling. Other initiatives are collaborative activities with the Responsible Research in Business and Management Global Network through the RRBM on Tour Symposium, as well as collaboration with the Qual Plus Center for Qualitative Management Research that was recently established at Aalto University in Helsinki. And the center was founded by Rebecca Picari, which you might well know, is a leading scholar in international business in relation to qualitative research methods. And also we run collaborative engagements with Karma. And Karma has always been RMSIG's strategic partner, and without whom the RMSIG could not grow to the stature it has within the community. So as you can see, there is a lot of going on to promote and sort of enhance the visibility of methods within the international business community.
Yeah, Rebecca is one of our Karma short course instructors, and I've been in touch with her about doing a partnership with a set of short courses with Qual Plus. So, and just mentioning the names of all of your colleagues and friends, brought back a lot of warm memories of those times. And it was so exciting to be around the people that you mentioned and others that were involved in getting this going. I think personally, there's few things as exciting as being around other people who are excited to do something and watching them do it. So you mentioned the RRMB, and you are played a founding role in the RRMB tour. So could you tell us what that's all about?
Of course, with pleasure again. So I found the Responsible Research in Business and Management on Tour Symposium, or as we call it, RRBM on Tour. When I joined the Responsible Research in Business and Management Global Network as the working board member in 2020. So RRBM on Tour is a whole-day knowledge exchange research workshop that is offered for free to higher education institutions around the world and aims to advance critical and ethical understanding of what responsible science is, so that credible knowledge is created by scientific communities to address problems important to business and society globally. And this was important to me and RRBM because we have realized that within the scientific community, especially within a business and management space, there is a misunderstanding what responsible research is. And to our sort of surprise, to a number of colleagues, responsible research is, as long as we do investigations on phenomena that relate to global challenges, i.e. SDG goals. However, in RRBM's understanding, responsible research is a research that is methodologically credible and scientifically relevant. So that's how the idea of RRRBM on Tour came about. And so far, and together with my 3 colleagues, Peter Makieran, Leira Blenicki, and Roberta Aguzoli, I have led such workshops in 2 higher education institutions in Poland, which is the SGH Warsaw School of Economics and Poznań University of Economics, which are the leading schools in that country, 1 in Croatia at the University of Dubrovnik, and 2 seminars in India at Woxen University, which is a very dynamic and vibrant university who's pushing for responsible research in Asia. If I may, I would like to just point out that the Responsible Research in Business and Management Global Network was developed by a group of leading business schools in the USA, as well as the main business school accreditation bodies such as AACSB, EFMD, UN Prime, as well as the Aspen Institute for Business and Society program. As such, RRBM is a leading strategic player, if I could say, in influencing both the research as well as education strategies in business schools that either reapply or aim to apply for accreditation as part of a thought leadership and a social impact.
Yeah. Well, I was very excited to be involved and communicate with the RRBM people from the beginning, and or RRMB. This sounds like a great extension of all that. It's having a great impact, and that work is needed and much appreciated by many of us in the community. So I want to transition now to talk about a topic, and that topic is survey big data. So survey and big data combined. So could you give our audience a kind of a preview of the kind of work that you do in this area?
Of course, I'd be delighted. So In my view, and people might agree or disagree with that, that's absolutely fine. But in my view, survey big data, it's basically a way of collecting vast amount of data via, for example, Twitter or X as it's called, Facebook or Meta as it's called, or any digital mode that is available to the scholar scientists due to digitalization. And by vast, amount of data, I mean the number of observation, the N that we as scientists are interested in is in thousands or more. So simply speaking, big data reflects the world measured in terabytes or petabytes or over yottabytes. It's huge. Also, big data nowadays is seen as the new oil or new asset class that allows scholars to use very sophisticated analytical techniques that were not possible before due to the low number of observation, the N that we sort of strive for through surveys. Therefore, big data is seen as the game changer in the academic communities as it facilitates data mining opportunities, potentially involving relatively lower levels of prior theorization, and where, by the way, the quality of data is not known. So we, in a way, take the data for granted. So as a scholar, I have always been interested in the quality of data. To me, the quality of data is an important aspect of a research process, but which, by the way, is not discrete, is a continuous process. And also the aspects of data relate to the input element within the research process, which quite often is sort of taken for granted or as given by scholars. But simply putting, if the quality of your data that you put in before you undertake any statistical analysis is questionable, then the results, the output, as I call it, is also questionable. So in the RM-SIG community, we have a saying, garbage in, garbage out. So stemming from that, my methodological work has been focusing around methodological rigor, data collection, data procedure, equivalence, and triangulation within survey data collection. And surveys as a data collection mode have evolved over time. It started as a postal survey, then due to the development of the web, we moved to electronic data surveys, and now we're dealing with a survey big data. It's the size of that data that we talk about. So, and I'm trying to link all those things that I'm interested in from methodological point of view to credible and trustworthy scholarship, which is the topic that everybody is talking about from the responsible research perspective.
Yeah. So you mentioned data then. So as I mentioned at the beginning, one of the things that we want to make sure that we cover is what you're going to be talking about in a couple of weeks for your Karma webcast. And so we have the title listed as the fit of data in scientific inquiry. Can you give us a brief preview of what you're going to be talking about?
Of course, this is my pleasure. So, as you know, recent years have featured unprecedented growth in the volume and availability of data from diverse national contexts, offering a lot of opportunities for innovative scholarship. Therefore, the aim of my webcast will be to, in a way, stimulate an active discussion about the importance of methodological fit when undertaking any projects that are based on empirical research. And I hope that my talk will inspire researchers not only to build a sound body of knowledge that develops theory and serves society based on credible methodology and appropriate data fit, but also to draw my attention to various stakeholders like responsible research in business management, the role of Prime, AACSB, and EFMD, in promoting responsible research, that because that will sort of ensure that the work that we as scientists produce is credible and relevant to society.
Yeah, well, as I indicated at the beginning, let me state it again. That webcast lecture is November 3rd at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, New York, 1 p.m. General GMT in London. And we very much look forward to your presentation. And it's great having the opportunity to get caught up in all that you have been doing. You're having a tremendous impact on the research methods community, not only within the IB community, but broader through your work with the other groups. And it's inspiring and great to get the chance to chat with you. It was a pleasure catching up with you, Aggie Chidlow. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Larry. Have a good day. Bye-bye.